everyone, and welcome to another episode of Building Inclusive Workplaces with Amara. I'm your host, Amara, and I want to tell you how much I love talking about inclusive workplaces. I think it's so important. And on this show, I share ideas, best practices. I also intend to bring in my friends and other incredible guests who will be talking and sharing their knowledge around best practices for promoting and building inclusive workplaces. And today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I think is so important. I mean, of course, every topic I talk about is pretty important. They're all, part of the various elements that make for an inclusive workplace. So today I'm going to be talking about working consciously. Have you ever heard of that term before? Working consciously. Yes. What does that mean? Well, working consciously simply means, I should maybe just share that with you. Yeah, there you go. Working consciously. So, working consciously simply means being aware. So, in a way, it's about self awareness, actually. It's about practicing self awareness in the workplace. It's about being present. It's about all these things that help us be better work colleagues. So, when we talk about self-awareness, what are we actually talking about, right? Well, we're talking about the ability to take stock of who we are. It's about interrogating ourselves and taking a moment and really asking some very important questions. For example, and I have a couple of questions here for you. Who am I? And what are my values? How has my background, personal history shaped my worldview, right? We all go around in the world with our own worldview that's been shaped by our experience, previous experience, our families, religion, backgrounds. I mean, you name it. Each person has a particular worldview, a particular lens through which they see things. And when this worldview sometimes clashes with others, people can get triggered and conflict can ensue. So really understanding your worldview, understanding where you're coming from, it gives you that shield, it gives you that foreknowledge in the way you engage with people. And knowing that you've done that work for yourself, guess what's going to happen? You're going to give people you have more compassion towards people because you understand that maybe they're in conflict with you because certain worldviews are not matching together. But having that thought, that ability to really take time to ask those questions is extremely important. So what is another thing you can do to engage in this, what I'm calling working consciously? One thing you can do is also question assumptions. It's so easy. I think the default for people is to just make an assumption. Someone does something, it's because they're X, Y, and Z. Someone is doing this, we just jump into conclusions. We just, have our own preconceived ideas about things, about people. What if we were able to question our assumptions and ask this question? Why am I taking or making this decision? What is informing my action or actions, right? Taking a step back, pausing, right? And asking those questions could be very critical in challenging whatever beliefs you have. Making sure that you're actually basing your actions or ideas or decisions on facts and not just emotion or maybe something you heard somewhere else, right? Another thing you could do, and I always, of course, talk about this, is presence. Being present. When you're present, it means that you're really fully engaged with the person you're talking to. And by so doing, you'll also be engaging in empathic listening. That means taking a step to really listen to what the other person is saying. We know that empathy really is a way of perspective taking. It's understanding somebody else's point of view. So the best way to do this is to pause, take a step back, and really be present and listen. And so these are some elements that we can engage in order to work consciously with one another. And the benefits are humongous, right? Imagine you're with somebody who's really there listening to you, who's paying attention, who's pausing and asking clarifying questions as opposed to jumping to conclusions. Someone who's fully present and aware of themselves, understanding their values and why they do what they do, right? That would make for a really engaged individual, don't you think? Anyway, these are some thoughts to ponder upon. And with that, I want to say thank you for tuning in again. I really would love to hear from you. So I want to know how this has resonated with you. What do you think about the idea of working consciously? What do you think about the idea of really engaging in self-awareness, the self-interrogation, asking those questions? What do you think about questioning your assumptions, right? And what about empathic listening and really being present and staying in the moment with whomever you're talking to? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave your comments. I'd love to read them, and your ideas, I would love to read them. Until next time, see you later and be well. Thank you.